late day trade here, and in a prior video I was talking about this line right through here at 38.57 represents yesterday's high, while 37.90 represents yesterday's range low. And we are just in the middle of this nice little bear flag that was playing out towards the downside midway in yesterday's range. So I decided to take a shot at shorting this. And you can see that price action came into the middle of the range, a little bit of a bounce here. These two moving averages pushed price action lower, and about half away to that prior low, I decided to get short. There's the live P&L working right now. I'm in this trade. And then the way that I looked at this was, mid-range breaks down, taking out that prior low. This thing could potentially run all the way into yesterday's range low. And if that's the case, I mean, we're looking at a pretty decent 32-point move to the downside on the S&P. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actively shorting this trade. This is a 1-minute chart, and price action double topped off of the range high. It's come down into a low, and we're now starting to short a little bit. And what I want to see now is I actually want to see price action continue through this lower level right through here, and I'll stay short this play. If there is a rally on any type of size, I will probably look to get out of this trade, but it's looking like we want to get another little push lower. You can see this is where I actually entered right through here at 38.24, so we're about 9 points down, seeing some volatility come in. This could just be another sort of position where people are covering their shorts, and what I'd like to see is this level come back into my favor here. So I'm just going to pause the video and come back to this when this plays out. So interesting little level here. Price action has come down and rallied a little bit. You can see that we've got this retest. So this is going to be an interesting little situation right through here. I might take this off if we get above this candle. I'm going to want to lock something in here. You can see though, if this low gets taken out, and I suspect that it will, to be completely honest, this thing could very well run a little bit lower with a target down through here at yesterday's low. Now, some people are going to say, well, this is an ascending triangle, or a symmetrical triangle rather. This is going to squeeze along. Yeah, there's some value to that comment, but what I would probably draw your attention to is that we've got this short-term peak meeting this little bit of a trough here. We're below these two moving averages. So even though this is a rising triangle there, or symmetrical triangle, or whatever you want to call it, I suspect that the momentum is still moving towards the downside. So that's probably going to break lower. And I'm also looking at a 15-minute chart here where there is a range low of 38.11. And if that 38.11 breaks down, it's effectively suggesting that the 15-minute momentum is geared towards the downside. Price action's below all of its moving averages on my charts as well, which means that there's a clear drop down to 38.01. So looking for a 10-point move from about 38.11 into 38.01 on the 15-minute chart. This 1-minute chart is going to be the kickoff there. So looking for this area to break down, and again, I suspect that price action will flush below that 38.11, which is that 15-minute low as well, which is geared towards being below its key moving averages, which denotes downside strength. And what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for that level to break down, and when it does, that P&L should kick up over 300 bucks. And just going to be tracking this trade as it goes. Oh, and that was a ascending triangle. I lost my train of thought there. So that's an ascending triangle. Even though an ascending triangle is technically bullish, we have to look at the overall sort of look of what's going on, right? So we've got that downwards movement, that downwards flagpole. We've got that ascending triangle, but the ascending triangle and price action is below the moving averages. So although an ascending triangle is bullish, because there are more probabilities suggesting that it's a bearish breakdown, you're going to want to take that into consideration. just because you see a bull flag does not necessarily mean that it's going to play out well. If you see a bull flag below key moving averages, there's a higher probability that that bull flag, because it's below those moving averages, is going to fail or could potentially fail. So just because this is a bullish pattern, it does not necessarily mean that it's going to break long. It very well could. Having said that, bull patterns are not necessarily as high probability when there's a whole bunch of bearish factors in its face. In this case, you're looking at a leg down. You're looking at the fact that that bull pattern is below its moving averages, and now we're seeing this low testing again at 38.11. And like I said, I suspect when 38.11 moves lower and we get into that 38.10 level, we could probably drop into 38.01 relatively easily. And like I said, a bull pattern is not necessarily a bull pattern, right? A bull pattern above all of its key moving averages moving with the prevailing trend is a very, very high probability bullish pattern. If you get a bullish pattern in a trending market going to the downside and price action is below all of the moving averages, that bullish pattern has a higher rate of failing than it does playing out. Hope that makes sense. So we're not struggling here. It is obeying its moving average. We just want to see that nice big drop, and it's looking like it might want to play out right here. So we're just going to watch this in real time. And the big thing is we want to get this level right through here taken out completely, and we want to see that happen on some volume. You can see that we've put in this low, we've held. So now really we ultimately need to see a lot of volume come through right now to really drive this thing lower, up about 300 bucks. I suspect that there is going to be a drop into 38.01. So this could be a big move right through here. And again, I don't have a crystal ball here, guys, right? This is all speculation based on how price action has historically moved and historic levels, right? So I just familiarize myself with historic levels of structure. I familiarize myself with how price action has behaved in the past. You can see that the P&L is lighting up a little bit here, up almost 400 bucks. And we are now starting to make that move towards 38.07, where there is a level as well. And it's not the strongest structural level, but it is an area where we could see a little bit of support. So we're about 2 points away from that right now on the 15-minute chart. P&L is opening up a little bit, up almost $400 on the day. And really ultimately want to see a break below 1308. Sorry, I don't know why I said 1308. 3807. I'm messing up my numbers here, pardon me. 3807. Want to see a break below 3807. And it looks like we're almost there. And if we get that flush from 3807, we could tick down into about 3801 with relative ease. P&L's up over 400 bucks now. Not too bad. Making our way to a target. And I might actually want to take this off soon. Okay, we're getting a nice little push here. And again, we're looking to break down through that 3807, which is what we've already done here. 3807 and a half is the level to hold. If we get a rally maybe over this candle, I'll probably look to take this trade off. So I'm going to get on the trigger here. And again, if we push over this level, I'm going to get out of this. I want to see a nice close below the 3807. I'm going to mark this off on my other chart here. 3807. 3807. If you could fucking cooperate here, that'd be great chart. There we go. 3807. So 3807, I need to see that close. And if we close below 3807, I'll stay short this trade. If we rally up into, say, this area up through here, I'll probably take this off maybe if we get above this level. You can see we got a bit of a pin bar here. So there is a rally that could potentially come our way. I don't want to cut the trade yet, but I want to sort of sit on this to see if we can move a little bit lower. And a push higher and I'll take this off. I want to stay below 37. Sorry, take two. I want to stay below 38.07 and a half. And we're toying with that level here. So I want to see some continuation below this level. Let's go. Below 38.07. I want to move into 38.01. Let's just get a target out here at 38.01. It's going to be about here. I want to see that level hit. And right now, if we get a close above this candle right here, I'll take this off. And we might be getting into that area. I don't mind if there's a little bit of a rally here. I want to see this low broken, and I want to see 38.01. Okay. Take it off.